Hey folks, I'm Serious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada. If my phone rings, I'm going to have to answer it. And apologies in advance. I'm usually good about editing shit out if I forget to edit stuff out. And you hear me yelling at my insurance company about the cost of drugs that are going to cost me bone pain. Sorry. I've had, well, I haven't started the chemo yet, but I had a couple of pieces of news in the last couple of days that have been pretty shitty, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to really try and just enjoy whatever the hell this game has to offer to me. It's a little hectic. I don't even know what's next, to tell you the truth, because I don't remember if we have additional side missions that we are supposed to do before we continue the main story. But I guess I'll just have little Chibi Yukimura here talk to Chibi Muramatsu. I'm curious to see what, if anything, Muramatsu's deal is going to be when she's older, because they have not historically bothered to make female characters who have, you know, a unique character model and voice acting who are not playable warriors. Even though there are clearly some characters, like later in the game, I believe we will be able to play as Cha-Cha, which is, that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense that you can play as Gracia either. Or, I mean, if I'm being... Is there anybody, in any playable female character in this game that makes sense that you can play as? Ginchio Takibana apparently did get involved in military affairs, so I don't believe there's any... Could be wrong. I don't think there's any legitimate, like, trustworthy historical accounts of her crossing swords with people, although I believe she may have ridden out with her armies in a defensive battle at some point. I think Inahime's thing about being good at archery may be based on historical accounts that she enjoyed archery, but she did not ride out to do battle with Yukimura and Mazuyuki when they came to her castle. She refused to open the gates for them, and that became the basis of, like, for her recurring throughout the series mission. And then, like, there's almost nothing known about the actual historical figure of Nohime. I guess the one that I can forgive, and Oichi, is not riding around in battle, hitting people with hula hoops or whatever, ribbon dancing. I guess if there's one that you don't care about, it's Okuni, because she's so clearly, she's not even appearing in this game so far, but she's so clearly just this, like, fanciful thing that it kind of doesn't matter that she's going around beating people up with an umbrella. Like, she's not meant to represent in any realistic way what's going on. I guess none of them are. So get over it, Gigi. And now we have been able to return to Sanada Main Castle. You can never tell what might happen in this life. Hee hee. Indeed, sister, I'm so happy to be able to be with you again and have the same voice. Thank you, Kimura. You must go and report to father. Yes. So I must go and report to father. I can also talk to Naiki Takanashi. I'm so glad you are all safe. Lord Yukimura, it is wonderful to see you safe. It is only thanks to everyone else saving me. I am no warrior yet. Lord Yukimura, it is that humble nature that will make you a mighty warrior one day, famed across the land. Yeah, there's lots of other, like, 8-year-olds who already think they're the hottest shit in the history of warfare. But Yukimura has that humility. This child has nothing new to say. I just don't think I can be bothered to go fishing right now. I have just a thing for you. Here's a special treat for you. I don't think this guy will suddenly start... Well, what I don't know is which of these... Oh, no. Okay, it does show me an inventory count. Is there anything this guy sells that I don't already have? It seems unlikely, because I believe his stuff becomes available to buy once you've already got it in your inventory. And I think it's invincibility tonic. No. Is it Valor Balm? Nighttime? Crucian? Yeah, so it's still the Crucian Carp that we don't have is what's preventing us from doing this quest. Perhaps we never get that, and it becomes like Red Dead Redemption 2, where we may never know what happens if you gather the dinosaur bones as Arthur or John. Oh no! Okay, it may be a good idea with Sasuke, who we will be using in battle. Kunoichi, we want to level up pretty good. Mazuyuki is pretty much, unless like gold and materials become a non-factor and I want to try to max him out to like 99 on stuff, he's fine. He's good. We don't really have to worry too much when we're playing as Mazuyuki. Kunoichi will eventually get a higher proficiency, and I'll be able to get her a little bit more elemental. Sasuke, once Yukimura becomes playable, there's a few characters. Sasuke, I think, is sticking with us until the end, so it would make sense to level his stuff up. So attack and range are what I do first, then attack, speed, and projectile. So let's do attack. How do I do different... Oh, courage. Fury. Oh man, see, they got new shit that wasn't available before that could be using. Although actually, they seem pretty... I guess you got to do attack +1 before you can upgrade it faster. So 25 seems pretty doable. And then range. And honestly, with Kunoichi, I'm not upgrading Kunoichi and Mazuyuki anymore because I'm not having any trouble in battles where I get to play as them. Eventually, there may come a point where we want to upgrade them more. But even though I have the gold and... Yeah, we burned through a decent amount of gold with those two upgrades. But by the end of the game... Okay. So, I'm sure sometime between now and the end of the game we'll be playing as the white-haired brother whose name I can never remember. Yukimura and... his brother, the one who, if you know anything at all about the history, and even if you don't, it's strongly hinted at in the opening cinematics. You know, yeah, Yukimura and his brother, as much as they love each other now, are eventually going to find themselves kind of on the opposite ends of some of these things. So we'll be playing as him, but I don't think he'll be somebody we'll be playing with at the very end. Mazuyuki is going to, before the end of the complete story, which basically tells the story of the final fall of the Sanada clan, Mazuyuki will be dead from natural causes before the game is completely done. You kind of should already know that. So at the end of the game, I don't know when Lady Cha-Cha is playable because she's a playable character, but I don't think, I think there's lots of battles where you're not playing as her. But Yukimura, once adult Yukimura appears, is going to be our main guy. And then Kunoichi, Sasuke, and I guess maybe Cha-Cha are the only other people who I believe are still with us till the end. I think at the very, 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 very end, it's pretty much Yukimura and maybe Sasuke as like the other person you play as. So it would behoove me to use Sasuke and get him leveled up if I'm worried about this game getting difficult. And honestly, usually it comes down to, I want to show off all the feats, and I want to show off all the stratagems, and like actually just winning the battle, not usually that big of a problem in this game. I'm playing on normal difficulty. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, normal difficulty level, you don't have to worry about like completely maxing your stuff. Visit the shop if you want to know anything about making medicines. Thank you. Pleased to meet you. Thank you. Bravo. Wonderful work, Yukimura. Who would have thought that you had it in you to slay Nobunaga? I would imagine he's making fun of Yukimura here, but... no, Uncle, I didn't slay Lord Nobunaga. You didn't? Oh, how disappointing. Yeah, I believe he's just playing games with the poor kid. God, see, damn it, it doesn't actually retain the info. Like, I can look it up in a fact, but like what you get from this guy and whether it's worth working with him now, because he's obviously not going to be around forever either. That's just the nature of life, guys. It's the miracle man. I don't feel like dealing with that. That might be something that I have to spam. Like if I find out about something I really need to get via the miracle man, I might be doing some kind of ludicrous off-screen spamming quick visits to the Sanada homeland so I can spam the miracle man game. Here's Yor, the hunter from the future. He just doesn't apparently have anything new to say. Welcome home, your Yukimura. I was so happy to see you looking well. Thank you, Shiguji. Have there been any changes around here? The news has only just reached us, but the Hojo are sure to make a move. The Oda had control of Kozuke, but now, which means Numata will again be under threat. Wow. Yukimura seems pretty well informed for a little kid. Welcome home, Lord Yukimura. I believe to see you safe. Thank you, Yishikuge. Actually, we were rescued by a ninja called Sasuke on our journey. Do you know of him? Sasuke? Hanze Hattori's protege. He was out on his own until found by Hanzo, who trained him to be a ninja. He was quite fond of Hanzo and did whatever he was told, but did not consider himself to be a retainer of the Tokugawa clan and felt no loyalty towards Ieyasu. He tended to look at things extremely dispassionately and always had a listless nature about him. He detested the samurai and daimyos who constantly fought in the name of their own ambition. Thinking it would be helpful for Hanzo, he approached Yukimura Sanada, but as a light shone in the deep gloom, memories of his childhood started to come back. What? I guess he's like one of the new characters who will be really featured in the story about what his whole deal is. Sasuke, not this guy. Well, famous ninja's a bad ninja, so they say. I'm afraid I do not know him. I see. I suppose that makes sense. I just hope I have the chance to meet him again. Well, I mean, I'm allowed to level up his weapons, so presumably... I mean, maybe the game's fucking with us. I'm allowed to go spend resources leveling up Shingen and Katsuyori and even Kenshin Uesugi's weapons, and they're all dead. Dead! Oh, you've got new stuff, Mr. Library Guard? Incident at Honnoji. Yeah, so we didn't do Battle of Yamazaki. Burning with the desire to avenge Nobunaga, Hideyoshi Hashiba has cornered the traitor Mitsuhide Akechi at Yamazaki. This is where their conflict will finally be resolved. Okay, so I did have one of these to do. Let's save just in case I feel the need to, I don't know, not repeat some of the dialogue in town. Although I believe when I load, I'll be at the beginning of town. But hopefully, Kenshin's death. All things should be enjoyed in moderation. So let's throw down a save. Actually, I'm not going to... I'll throw it down here. It's not like I'm going to replay that fight. We won it and got all the stuff that I wanted to get out of it. Ooh. Ooh. Two wonders. Sorry. TV's Frank. Well, I think we did. Now I can just double check and make sure we did all these. Easily enough. Alright. Let's do some Hashiba action. Hideyoshi Hashiba, engaged in a battle with the Mori in the Shugoku region, was one of the first to hear of the slaying of Nobunaga. After quickly suing for peace with the Mori, he flew back to Kyoto at remarkable speed. Hunting down the traitor, his forces clashed with the Akechi army at Yamazaki. And that's interesting. I mean, this is one of those huge turning points in Japanese history, is that Hideyoshi was the first who was able to respond and mobilize, and that he mobilized faster than the Akechi expected him to. But he didn't just sue for peace with the Mori. He had a castle encircled, and I don't remember the exact details. He basically used a flood attack, and they were just going to hold out as long as they could. And he basically said, surrender the castle and the head of the commander of the castle, and everyone else can go free. And the Mori, who may or may not have known about what was going on with Nobunaga, agreed. So he basically won. Like, instead of just like retreating from a battle, he won the battle he was in the midst of fighting, and then retreated from completing the campaign to go kill Mitsuhide. And this is, historically, I mean, it'll be a pain in the ass, I'm sure. But if this was Samurai Warriors 2, where sometimes somebody grabs a soldier and runs away when you defeat them, and sometimes they have like a death line and collapse, defeating Mitsuhide here should result in his death line, because this is where he's finally utterly defeated. The two armies fought determinedly for Mount Tenno, the key strategic point overlooking the area of Yamazaki. Burning for revenge, motivation at the Hashiba ranks was high, and they held the advantage. I must be the one to avenge Lord Nobunaga. Come, men, give it all you have. After a terrible battle, the Hashiba army secured control of Mount Tenno. Hit hard by the Hashiba forces as they attacked by thundering down the slope. The Akechi army was scattered to the winds. Well, okay, so apparently the portion of the battle that was in Samurai Warriors 2 has already happened, and we're going to be doing something in the aftermath. Either that or they're describing how things are supposed to go before we do it. As darkness spread over Yamazaki, Hideyoshi ordered the capture of the traitor Mitsuhide. Oh, so they're not going to do... I can do Mazuyuki Sanada Youth? I'm kind of shocked I have access to all these characters. Be fun to play as Nene. Be fun to play as Aya. Why are these people even available? I don't know why any of these people are available. It would be a lot of... Nene, like the female characters are usually a lot of fun to play as. I wouldn't mind playing as Nene. Aya is a lot of fun. But the difficulty level here ain't exact. Well, I'm curious about Mazuyuki Sanada Youth. What that even means. Because isn't he normally just Mazuyuki Sanada? I guess we'll just do Mazuyuki Sanada Youth and then Sasuke. And if things are being easy, I'll switch to Sasuke and get him some experience. And if things are being hard, I'll stick with Mazuyuki. So I guess they don't. I guess now it's like they don't care. The dialogue is going to be the same. You're not actually having to play as somebody who was there, because I've unlocked free mode somehow. Having been engaged in battle against the Mori in the Chugoku region, Hideyoshi Hashiba turned his troops around as soon as he heard about the incident at Honnoji, which Zerfall managed to avoid by defeating the Ashikaga shogunate before Mitsuhide could rebel. And I would congratulate Zerfall for this, except I don't think he's watching this series. Flying back at a speed far exceeding Mitsuhide's expectations, his forces clashed with Mitsuhide's at Yamazaki and Setsu. ... Check out my tits. I mean, sorry. It's almost time, darling. Oh, Nene, you're back. How did everything go? This is not my back. This is my front. Everything's fine. She got away with some other kid. I can't remember his name. Is she talking about Yukimura? I think she's talking about Yukimura. Good. I was worried when I heard she was in Azuchi, but if she's fine, then that's a relief. Now we can focus on the battle ahead of us. We must avenge Lord Nobunaga. Why would Mitsuhide do such a thing? He's kind of a jerk. Why would Mitsuhide, who's in Samurai Warriors, is generally portrayed as being really honorable, why would he betray the Demon King, who, depending on which version of the game you're playing, was out to create a world of darkness and hell? This is Mitsuhide we're talking about. I'm sure he must have thought he had a good reason. But whatever the reason, I cannot accept what he has done. It is unforgivable. Yeah, whatever. Watch over me, Lord Nobunaga. I will avenge your death and carry on your grand dream. So the only game that really ever gives us these little short dialogues between characters who wouldn't normally interact much is Samurai Warriors Empire 2. It's one of my favorite games ever, frankly. Bobo and I did an LP of that. I really enjoyed it. But there is a dialogue in that game, and it's just like two still pictures of the characters voice acted. It's not like full motion video or anything, but there is a little dialogue based on an actual letter that Nobunaga wrote, where Nene is upset at the way Hideyoshi's treating him, and Nobunaga writes a very touching letter about how Hideyoshi doesn't realize that Nene is the greatest treasure he has. But then again, Nene's portrayal in these games is just so goofy and weird that it's hard to really get into that. She's a fun character, but it's hard to imagine she has a whole hell of a lot to do with her historical counterpart. But yeah, she should be mad that these motherfuckers killed Nobunaga, because Nobunaga treated her pretty good. Due to his rapid rise to power, Hideyoshi had no hereditary vassals in his employ. As a result, he relied heavily on his kogai, devoted retainers who had been favored and mentored by Hideyoshi since youth. The most loyal and highly valued among them were Mitsunari Ishida, Kiyomasu Kato, and Masanori Fukushima. I see. I don't know how to make him talk. It's like he reminds me a lot of Kuwabara, but he's also like they always portray him as this yakuza goon, which just makes me think he's some kind of mafia goon. He looks like the old man's fired up for this one. Of course he is. This is more than just vengeance. I want to make him sound too much like the other guy, like Melon Rippin. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, I'm thinking some kind of completely stereotypical Italian gangster there. I talk more like Mario than any actual person with any real Italian heritage over here. If he slays Mitsuhide, the man who slew Nobunaga, then he positions himself as Nobunaga's true successor. I'm kind of generic. Mitsunari is clearly a smart guy, but he's kind of a stuck-up jerk. Masanori is kind of a dumb guy who's a good fighter, and I'm just kind of generic. No, so you mean he could rule this whole land? Keep your voice down, you idiot. In addition, Hideyoshi's retinue also included Yoshitsugu Otani, aka Leper Man, and Takatori Todo, who had joined him after the fall of the Azai clan. What do you think, Yoshitsugu? You think Hideyoshi... Sorry, Lord Hideyoshi. Do you think he can win? Hold on, I have to... My lips are falling off. Let me put them back on here. No one thought he could get here so fast. He has momentum on his side. I see, so then I can concentrate on making a name for myself in this battle. That's all you care about, isn't it? Making a name for yourself. Yeah, he's not as humble as you are, Mitsunari. There are some things that can only be protected with true strength. As a vassal, the only way to get that strength is through battle. That may be true. So you are out to make a name for yourself in battle too? I simply allow myself to go with the flow of time. What a weirdo. Okay, I'm not going to have time to finish this battle now. So our stratagem, so I can burn all my strategy points here. Nene rallies the allied forces. Nene will rally allied officers. We can use Kanbei Kuroda to fluster Gracia, creating panic. I assume he's going to go hit on her, something stupid. And increase the movement speed of the Ninja Master. Okay. Got to defeat Munayori Yagi with a Muso attack. Claim victory before the health of Hideyoshi Hashiba falls to half below. Claim victory before a single allied officer is defeated. So these are the ones that are annoying sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's not so much that it's a tough battle, but the feats are like, you can't let anybody get defeated at all. And you can't let anybody pass the retreat point, so it's, whatever. Okay, so this one might take more than one try, because it's, particularly if I'm obsessed with doing all the feats. But when I get to Munayori Yagyu, and I think I remember who that is, I gotta make sure to use a Muso. See, I haven't used Mazuyuki for a while, so make sure he's using the best possible horse. Easiest way to check that is to see what horse the guy I have used recently is using. So where are these enemy officers at? Munayori is there, and I gotta beat him with a Muso, and then you got generics scattered around. Alright, let's get started here. Barely have any time to do this battle, but we can at least get a start going. So I think I'll switch to our little assistant right off the bat. Oh no, she says, and I missed it completely. Enemy has secured the summit of Mount Tenno. Oh, it's a nighttime battle, too. That's going to make it kind of a pain in the butt. So we're going to jump straight down Mount Tenno. Get in here and earn us a Muso. Defeat what's his name and what's his name to secure the garrison. Alright. We can do that. We will have you start attacking Muniori. I just got a thing saying that there's a mission here, so... What's that option? That's why I switched. Okay, so I gotta... So there's no time limit, so I can come back to that in a minute. But you keep fighting Muniori. Too smart, too strong, bitches. So where's the other guy? In here. Hiding. From the guy who can murder. Well, apparently young, I guess I've been playing as young, God, the hell's their name? I guess I've been playing as young Mazuyuki this whole time and not realizing it. It seemed like that was a new and unique name for the character, but I guess there's an old Mazuyuki we just are playing as later, because this seems to be pretty much Mazuyuki as I have known him in this game. I like the sound of Souls calling for aid. It's fun. Defeat. Okay. So you head for Botachica. Please finish him off here. Okay, I'm going to do an interim save because why not? And then I think I'll call it a video. So when we come back next time, we got Koshosho is another one of these characters who probably has no business being in battle. She's based on some historical lady. But we're supposed to be defeating Botachica. Koshosho is going after Hidanaga, who's Hideyoshi's son or brother. I'm not really sure which, but either way, it's one of our feats is making sure that neither of them gets defeated. And I believe, well, we can't let Hideyoshi's health fall low. So we've done one of our feats already. We just need to not let anyone get defeated. So it probably behooves us to get between Koshosho and Hidanaga. So we will definitely be attempting to do that next time on Dragon Ball Z. Well, not Dragon Ball Z, but this LP. Anyway, see you then.